Okay. I'd like to call this meeting to order for the January 21st, 2025 meeting of the City of Gilroy Parks and Recreation Committee. And roll call, please.
Chair Benson,
Present.
Vice Chair Grant,
Here.
Commissioner Bosa,
Here.
and Commissioner Ramirez.
Here.
Flag salute. So Terry, would you like to lead us in the flag salute? Sure. Here's the flag. It's over there. Ready, begin? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next we have on the agenda is the the Secretary's report.
Yes, the meeting packet was published on January 17, 2025.
And approval of minutes from the November 19th, 2024 meeting. They're in your packet.
Move for approval. I second.
Motion by Sam and second by Lise. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You don't need a roll call on that, do you? It's approved. Or unanimous. Okay, next. Approval of the agenda of tonight's meeting. Anybody? I move that we approve. Motion by
Second.
Terry, the agenda. Second by Sam. All in favor for the approval of tonight's agenda?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda approved. Unanimous. Any introductions? Any public comment on items not on the agenda?
Are you ready? Oh.
Now the time.
Hold on one sec. Okay. Yeah, it's 3 minutes.
Okay, is this okay?
Yeah.
So, my name is Andrew Brinson. I'm a resident. I've been here about 15 years. My wife grew up here. I want to talk or ask actually about the fencing that's going on in schools. So I live right by Elbrook Park. And, it seems like kind of like in the dark of night, just fences. Parks. I understand they did it in Robley. I understand they also did the same project with Measure T money at Rock Kelly. And I think that they did the same thing around the beach. And I've been learning a little bit more. I understand that it's GSD land, so they were allowed to do it sort of unilaterally. My question though is how it relates to the city. I looked at the and it looks like those were designated as sort of like park / school land so that they could go for use, which seems like what's been done. Because there's been park. So my question to the commission is, was this unilateral by GSD's part? Did you guys approve it? Or whatever? Because it's either. Yeah. And it impacts, you get 0 access. And significantly, those areas of those parks have baseball access. So Gilbert League assigns the lower level ball Jonas managers of those little guys sort of out to hunt for themselves for access. We lost now 4, or at least to those folks. So is there any plan to count the number of backstops to be equal to the number of demand we have? And if not, can we get some more, some other areas, or even better yet, is there a plan that we could share the space? Fence is already there to block out the existing, right? So the doors just have to for it to be open during time so that we should space. That seems like it was. So those are my questions. So hope that you guys can, if you know the answers, that don't hear. If not, maybe this can be a. For you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I know it's.
Yeah, it's in school. Can I make a comment a little bit? I don't think we should touch it. Not yet. Well, you'll agendize it for future comeback and we'll invite him to come back.
Not to agendize it, what I can do, because I don't have any information provided, is, I will look into it
Okay.
and I will to the commission, and also I'll let you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And isn't it, it's school land, isn't it district land? There's the big, I forgot on intention, you're talking about that big, almost, it's, that's the railway side, the school side, and then a railway park. So the park is the city of Gilroy, yeah.
Mhm.
And that other land is GUSD,
Used to be a joint use.
yes, a long time ago.
This there still is.
Yeah, but I know, my grandchildren or my grandson used to go to Luigi, and that's where I first noticed it. And they built their own stuff. Yeah, we'll go- Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's, that's what we'll do. Adam will, yeah, John and Adam will get feedback and present it to, hopefully commission next month. I won't be here, but, they will let you. Okay,
So if I may, can I ask, is there anybody who knows an answer? Should I hang around? If it's full.
No, I mean, you can hang around, but
There's nothing germane to this topic.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on, but like I said, I will follow up with you, or someone from the city, sure. In a short amount of time, and then I'll also let the commission know. That essentially the information should reveal.
Okay. All right, well, I appreciate your time and.
Thank you for coming in.
Excuse myself.
Yep.
Thank you
Sure.
very much.
Okay, thank you for coming in. Anyone else?
No,
Alrighty, so we'll move on to new business. And, I didn't know if the one question, the young lady who's here. Jan, right, Jan? Were you following it from your,
yes, so
who
she'll
you want to
actually-
talk to or late?
She does, but it will be in the work plan.
Okay.
Now it's part of your work birthday.
Okay,
Correction, Young is, doesn't like me anymore, but thank you very much.
okay. Let's see, all right, so I'm glad to know we're gonna still talk. So new business, installation of permanent restroom at Christmas Hill Park Ranch site using capital improvement project.
Oh my gosh, this is huge.
Didn't we already just do this, or is this something new?
No, this is new. This is something that's been discussed.
Oh, on the ranch site.
John is gonna share with you the details.
All right, yeah.
Okay, staff report says Matt Jones, but I'm willing to hear from John.
Yeah, Matt couldn't make it. But, so the recommendation is to, recommend that the commission approve the proposed installation of the restroom. Self-parking.
Yeah.
For this recommendation to the city council for consideration. A little bit of background, currently Christmas Hill, Parks and Ranch site does not have a permanent restroom. Facility presently. There's only one single stall porta potty adjacent to the parking lot to accommodate an estimated 17,000 annual users. And attendees, the park is used by residents in a multitude of ways. Those who participate or attend baseball, soccer games, cyclists, walkers, joggers, events occurring at the Miller Red Barn, and special events such as the 5K run and walk. The installation of the restroom will improve the park's infrastructure and will better serve the community. Analysis on the project. The lack of permanent restroom facilities at the ranch site has been a longstanding concern raised by park users and event organizers. And it's created an inconvenience for visitors. Since there is only one single stall porta potty, park users often walk across Miller Avenue to use the restrooms, which is adversely impacts families with small children and those with physical abilities. It also limits the park's ability to support large gatherings without having to rent portable restrooms. The restroom is listed among projects in our capital improvements program. Funding for the construction of permanent restroom has been identified within the CIP. And the estimated cost of the restroom installation is $400,000. No additional funding sources are required at this time, and the project is expected to be completed within the allocated budget.
Which fiscal year, John? It doesn't say. This one?
This one.
Great.
And then, alternative options would be to maintain status quo. Restroom, however, this option does not provide a long-term solution to outgoing needs for permanent restroom facilities. And in conclusion, the estimated cost of the restroom installation is $400,000. Funds for this project have been allocated from the capital improvement programs account. No additional funding sources are required at this time. And the project is expected to be completed within the allocated budget. Turn to the next page, there should be a map of Christmas Hill showing the proposed location of the restroom. Imaging, I suppose, restroom image design.
Oh, wow, I see.
Is it going to be similar to what's on the other side of the ranch side? I mean, the Christmas Hill side?
Similar as the new ones, yet where we have, four, ADA, all gender use. restrooms, so four.
Four stalls.
Questions, John? Couple of questions. With respect to the location, is it designed there in the grander scheme of what may happen to the 14, 15 acres that are there? Do you know any idea why that location was chosen?
So in looking at, locations, we originally thought of right as you come into the park, immediately to the right. The location we did choose, there's already a cutout in the sidewalk. And it puts the restroom much closer to utilities, which are in the back field there.
Okay.
So I figured that would be the best location to serve folks,
Okay.
especially for anything.
And the second question is, and I don't know if you can help me with this, and I'm not, there was $1 million in the CIP budget to do bathrooms for the entire park system. I don't know if you guys remember that from last fiscal year. I know I have it in my notes somewhere. Is this part of that $1 million? Does that mean the other facilities will not get upgraded? I'm just trying to understand. First of all, I'm very much in favor of this. We need it over there. I just want to know the impact on what it does to the other bathrooms and the rest of the parks. Specifically Los Animas, which are really bad shape.
No, the other restrooms are currently in the process of being revamped. Los Animas at the Oaks, actually the lakeside, the one next to the rec center, is getting new roofs, new wall treatments, and stalls and fixtures.
Oh, great.
So we're gonna do the same to the Oaks restroom, and then I'd like to refresh San Isidro as well. So we're trying to spread this to all the rest.
That's good.
Great, thank you.
That's good.
Anyone else? I'm sorry. Go ahead. No?
Did the commissioners have any questions?
I think it's an excellent idea, and I like that there's space between the Red Barn and the lavatories, because they're wanting to do some kind of toy area, picnic area,
in between there, so that'd be perfect.
Any public comments on this? item?
I just have a question, I remember a couple years back, one of the restrooms on the Christian Hill side, it burned down. I understand, was that?
Oh, yeah.
Not yet, is it? Okay, been a while.
Well, if you go out there, at Christmas Hill, there's now it's got 3 or 4, John. Same scenario,
Three stalls, yeah.
and it's 88 and all gender. So it's really nice. Yeah.
Other than this,
It went up last year.
okay. It's a great idea to have a restroom
Oh,
on the side,
yeah,
thank you.
okay. Alrighty. Being that there's no comments from the public, we'll close the public hearing part of it. And
Sorry, just had so the construction will be going on. When would the construction start? Do you know?
Sure, we should be starting with the planning and
I was just wondering about the Earth Day, if construction is gonna be going on during that time. You might not know yet, huh?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
is it gonna be brought in, framed like the other one was?
It's all likely to be the same.
Yeah, it's a prefab, so that's what's gonna be really nice about it. Yeah, it goes a lot faster. They do the bottom area and they bring it up and put it in, so it's a lot nicer. Okay, so no further comment from the public. So which pleasure, commissioners?
I move that we forward the recommendation to council for approval.
I'd like to second that.
Hold on 1 second.
So we have a motion to, and a second to, recommend approval of the proposed installation of a new restroom at the ranch site at Christmas Hill Park and forward this recommendation to the city council for consideration. All in favor? Aye. It's unanimous. Okay, number 10, old business. Review of the FY 24-25 Parks and Recreation Commission work plan. And you'll find that right. Yep. Got it. I want to just share this across so she could see that. You may not see that, 'cause you don't have full packets. If you can just give it to me after. You can kind of see it.
Okay, so for your work plan. Just gonna go, essentially, there's 2 updates, that I was gonna, if you go all the way on the right side where it says status. You've got a number of items that have been completed, so congratulations. And there's 2 more items that are in bold, in progress. The story walk, good news on our end, we finally got the green light from the city attorney. The MOU is it's fine on our end, so we've given it back to the county, it goes back and forth.
Okay.
Once that gets signed, then we can move forward, or county will move forward with this. Post. Storyboard. But we're not there just yet, so we're waiting for the county to agree to the edits that we've made to the MOU, and then we can, if they're okay with it as is, then we can move forward.
Did they agree to the Christmas Hill location?
Yeah, so it's gonna be on the park side. On the park side, starting from the playground and then zipping around, if you remember that.
Mhm.
Map, zipping around Mulberry and then out to the Walnut. Yeah,
Okay.
we don't know how many posts there will be, so it will determine also the length.
For the story.
Yes, but they could adjust it.
Great. Good to hear.
And then for the Earth Day event, we do have a public comment on that. Anyway, so at your previous meeting in November, the commission voted to support adding the event to its work plan. The commission can table that Earth Day event, promoting the Parks and Recreation Commission as well as the city's parks and recreation programs and services. And anyways, we do have a public comment, Jan. But before we get to Jan, are there any questions?
Did they get notified what you told me? Like in
Yes,
office position?
yes,
Okay.
yes, and
Has there been a change in that position at all?
there hasn't been a change, and just so you know, we also haven't received any special application yet for this specific.
Okay.
We have received a reservation from the gardeners, the garden group, but that's different from a special event application.
So would that special event permit have to come from the garden group or have to come from the Red Barn?
Well, I don't think it's gonna come from the Red Barn. Actually, it might. I don't know. It just, we haven't received one yet.
Okay.
For any of the, from any of the entities.
So Adam, are you reserving it's not booking the baseball field for that day?
Yes, so the ranch site has been reserved.
Okay,
It's been reserved by the Gilroy Garden Group.
okay.
But as I said, it's one thing to make the reservation, then there's the second step, which is to submit a special event permit application.
Okay.
So that's what we're waiting on at this.
And that was consistent with what they did last year.
Yes, well, the only difference is that there wasn't an Earth Day event last year. The Gilroy Garden Group did their reservation and then they submitted a special event permit application to have the garden sale,
Mhm.
which is different from what is being discussed.
Right, this year. I'm still bigger.
That.
We're hoping.
Yes.
Okay.
Are there any other questions?
No.
Before we, okay, so Jan?
Well, thank you. So I just want to update you on what we've been doing and our progress toward getting stuff together. And then I have a few questions for you in the end here. So so the garden group has contacted their nonprofits that they want to be there. And I don't have that list, but we have contacted the Silicon Valley Clean Energy, or Sierra Club, Blue Climate Action, Moms Out Front. PG&E is really hard to get them. I couldn't even figure out how to contact them. And then there's Citizens Climate Lobby. So except for PG&E, we've contacted those groups and are awaiting a response. I just contacted them last week, so I haven't heard back from them yet on that. And also another member is contacting Hernan Garcia and the Garbage Museum and the Audubon Society. We're also, I talked to Zach about a bike parking lot and he seemed to think that was a go. So I just have to keep in touch with him about a bike parking lot. Probably would be on the west side of the Miller Red Barn. As far as the application goes, we had hoped to put a joint application, a special use a permit application in with the Gilroy Garden Group, but they wanted to do their own thing. So we're gonna do one too. And that is, we should have ours in by the end of the week. So the AUW Gilroy group has their own insurance. And so I'm just awaiting that paper to come through from our treasurer, and then we can submit our permit for the Miller Red Barn area. They're gonna be on the south side, and we're gonna be on the north side of the Miller Red Barn. We also want to arrange for one food truck. They already have a food truck that they're gonna have, and I think that's it.
No, AEW is not doing the garden sale, that's the garden.
Yeah, the garden group's doing their plant sale.
Yeah.
And we're doing, information, education, sorts of stuff.
Okay.
I have also contacted the youth commission to see if they want to be part of it, and I think there was some noises as to they did, as to they were interested, but I don't know where that is. I don't know if they want to, present anything. I think one of the most effective things I saw was from an international group, but it was about kids, like teenagers, and they were talking about how climate affects them personally. And so I don't know what the youth commission wants to do. You know, we want them to, or I would want them to develop their own thing, whatever they want to do. It's great. So I did have a few questions though.
Although it's.
Yeah.
So our time is done. Do you want to let her continue?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't realize I was on time. Can the city Parks and Rec, we have to start getting a flyer together pretty soon for publicity. And I was wondering if the city Parks and Rec Commission would be willing to co-sponsor our group, if you have a logo or something we could put up on the flyer. I don't know if that's possible, just,
It's,
okay,
sorry.
okay, well, that's good to know. And
But
then.
I'm sure the barn would, because they did a flyer for the pancake breakfast. So get the barn group, the Gardner group usually is part of them are on the barn group board. The one, I know the one gal is that came earlier.
Mary Lou Doty.
Not her, the other
No,
gal, the long hair does the bricks too. So
Okay.
Yeah.
And then also, is the city able to help with printing costs for a flyer if we did it, if we got a flyer together? I don't know.
No.
no, don't
Oh,
go.
okay, well, good to know. Now, we know. So those are all my questions.
I have one other question too. The beekeepers, they probably wanted to be, with
I
the-
think the gardening groups contacted them.
Okay, good. And for the PG&E, I don't know if this person would do it, but Michelle Wexler with County Health, she's gonna be retiring, so I don't know if she's gonna be retiring before or if they or not, but I would get a hold of her. She used to be the chair here, and she's been off the commission for over 4 years, but Michelle Wexler, and I think I have her phone.
I might have Michelle's name.
Yeah, and County Health definitely would want to be involved.
Okay, yeah, we didn't think of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that would be a good resources, and she's got the ability to do printing.
Okay, all right, good to know.
Okay,
All right, well, any more questions for me?
nope,
Well, thank you so much.
okay, Jen,
We'll probably be back next month to do more updates.
Thank you.
okay,
for joining
Jen,
us.
thanks for
Thank you.
coming,
Thanks.
and thanks for your good work.
I'd like to make a comment, Mr. Chair. if I
Okay.
could. So it seems to me that, this is a good thing for Parks and Rec, and I think I know we were trying to get a little bit more involved, but it seems like our hands are tied from the city perspective. So, we could put some table there. Right, I know the library commissioner has, the librarian says she's willing to participate. I'm willing to go out and talk to her when if we have the date, what they can do. So as far as the city representation, county can have a booth for us, right? John, I think
Or
you always
table,
supply
yeah.
chips, that sort of thing, right? Wood chips for people to come and grab and mulch and that kind of stuff. So that kind of goes with the Earth Day. And I think if we have I think it sounds like a table for us. Maybe the library can, gets involved and stuff that John does, and that's kind of a participation. That's about it. So,
Mhm.
Well,
Go ahead, Sam.
Patty. We said that we can't help them with printing or anything like that.
That's correct.
And, but Jan and her garden group, aren't they a part of AAUW?
Jan is the AUW.
She does, okay.
Yeah, the garden group is
It's a separate
somebody
group,
else.
yeah,
And they
okay.
usually have their plant sale and the barn usually helps with that situation.
Okay. And so she was asking for maybe help on printing and things like that?
She has, Jan did,
Yeah.
but no one else has asked, and I
Okay.
know that if she gets a hold of Michelle Wexler, Michelle has resources because it's all
Oh.
public health related. Getting to walk, people in the park, all that, Michelle, that's part of her job.
And
at
what
the
is
county.
Michelle's, what is her?
She's at county health, public
county
health,
health? Okay, public
and,
health.
yeah.
Okay.
just don't remember. I think I have it on my phone. But anyway, I know Barn might put something out or on their website, they might put something out. I was really disappointed to hear that we got nixed at the city administrator level. I was just really surprised. And I didn't know if there was a possibility of appealing that or what. But then it was going off, so I wasn't sure what to what's the protocol? Well,
Do you,
what do you think?
do you understand why we're kind of just,
I think part of it is that, if you help support this group and with their event,
yeah, just-
there are going to be other groups who are gonna come,
Gotcha.
and then there's gonna be this obligation and this precedent.
Mhm.
And so it opens up that.
I get it.
And there are a lot of groups that come to the city seeking funding.
Sure.
Or free space. And the city just, they can't accommodate everyone's needs.
Mhm.
So I think, what I would recommend to the AAW, it's too late probably for this year, but they should go for a grant. Whether it's through the Gilroy Foundation, Rotary Club, or another organization. They're out there, you just have to plan well in advance
Mhm.
to secure the funds. They don't, if they just need funding for printing flyers, that's, it's reasonable, it's not that cumbersome to get. So there are other ways, it just requires a lot more advance.
Is that, are those kinds of, events? If they're known ahead, can they go into the Parks and Rec catalog, whatever we call it?
If they want to take out an advertisement.
So it would be an
yes,
advertisement,
it
they
would
have
be
to
an
get,
advertisement.
do they get like a discount or something like that, or is it like a charge cheaper going outside of that?
They
Yeah.
don't get a discount, but the rates have not gone up since I've been here. So it's very reasonable to reach that many people. Charge
Okay.
in comparison to other.
How many of those pamphlets do we put out? Little newspapers.
There are approximately 21,000 to every single household, and another few hundred that are printed.
Just
Senior center. Wheeler.
21,000 on advertisement.
Question, so Adam, how do we intend to promote at least our presence? Will that appear, I'm assuming, in the city emails?
Yeah, so we could say that, visit the Parks and Rec Commission meeting. The other thing too is we're gonna be promoting the giveaways of the wood chips and mulch, which is something we do every year.
Right.
So there's a lot of, what they call cross pollination, no pun intended.
Yes.
For this event, so, so there's some opportunities.
Okay.
And I'll have the table cover and chairs and tables, so just so you know.
So we're hearing about these events right now. Is there any way that we can have a list? Do you know the events for the year that go on or half a year? That we could be privy to so that we're looking at things ahead of time, not a day late, a dollar short, if you would, that we can contribute more time, and it might be in other people we know, bringing them on, that kind of thing.
I mean, there are certain annual events that we are, obviously like downtown line, that seems to be a real staple. And, there's always at least 2 car shows that are going on. There's the big annual holiday parade, December. There's the wine stroll, the beer walk. Trying to think of other events. Gilroy Little League has their opening day ceremony, so.
I'm thinking of, with a, adaptive dance, we could
Yeah.
always go to that.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're interested, I certainly can put together flyers.
Just something, if we come up with something that then we are known for and continue it, it's just one more place to.
Well, and
bring
too,
in
that
people
when
or
that they probably haven't planned it yet, but I'm sure they've penciled it, like the breakfast with Sam. Bar, another.
Could you fit more,
catastrophic
could you
COVID
fit
or
more
something.
people in there? So you need
We're full.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, those kinds of things.
but at least we know when it is. I
Yes.
mean,
And so, sort of a process.
And just remember, we have bike tour every day. Yeah, every. so you come up-
Well, maybe if you could give her like a little calendar, like, rough, of like, or give the commission, like, oh, this is what's on the board now, you know?
You know, there's a lot of different events out there and I don't know if I wanna list them all because then what happens if I miss one?
Yeah,
So,
well, I'm just thinking more commission
if the commission wants to,
appearance.
yeah, and the commission has done that in years past, they're
Mhm.
hosting of downtown live, it seems to be. You get a lot of foot traffic at that event, some of these events, not as much.
Right.
you know, But it's hit or miss sometimes.
And we used to do KDA, but KDA is kind of different now. It's taken a different life, kind of.
Yeah,
That used to be a lot of fun. and
Yes,
We did
yeah.
that, and then
Yeah.
whatever you do for party in the park, maybe,
Party in the park would probably be. a good
maybe
event.
have that little more for us to, for the rest
Yeah.
of the.
Do you have a
commission.
Here's the thing, I can provide the events where the city is a direct organizer.
That's where I would. go.
That's, yes,
That's a good idea.
that's what we want, because we are part of
Yeah.
the city of Gilroy, so that just gives us a little nudge inward.
I agree.
Adam? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what would be a donation that we would go out and get? What do you think in terms of this particular project?
What do you mean?
What do I mean by that?
Like,
Yeah, dollar amount,
Like, what do they need?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like the printing and things like that. That they asked for two things and we couldn't help them on those two things.
Yeah.
So what
one of
do
them-
you,
Yeah,
go
so-
ahead.
No, I mean, so the two things were adding the logo and then the printing. And I had actually already communicated that to, not to, I thought it was to Jen, but to, I don't know if Connie Rogers, the board president,
Yeah, she's on the AEW.
yeah, and there was a few other names. So that had already been communicated since.
Well, I guess if you're interested in a donation, it's gonna come from our own selves, not gonna come from.
Well,
The
I
commission.
don't have an idea. I can't put
Yeah.
a thing around it because I don't know how much to go ask for.
Yeah, and I don't know either, so
Yeah,
you
well-
have to ask them directly,
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I.
Maybe approach Connie or approach Jan
Yeah.
or something about
Yeah.
it.
okay.
And what are we approaching them for?
Well,
You know,
they need resources.
I'm just
What are
saying,
they
we need to have our plan, so we can throw it that way too.
Well, yeah, we need to
And
know
then
what their
this-
resource
and what
needs
they
are.
give us.
And it's just sort of like for Exchange Club, when I give the check for scholarship, the scholarship, you know. Adam, I'm coming here with a check, use it. And you'll be getting another one now that's past January.
Well, let me just throw this out there, just, a minute. I know you're gonna go. So AAW gives a check to Parks and Rec for any reason for kids, some families that can't afford, events or, sign up for recreation. Does that kind of stuff go advertisement or mentioned inside our magazine, Parks and Rec? I mean, how many people look at the Parks and Rec magazine? When it
A
comes
lot.
out, a lot of people. And I'm just saying, getting our name out there, and the more you have that out, the easier it is to bring in more people who are there. what
Well, I
can they do.
know Adam usually puts mention of it
Yes.
in your
Yeah, so.
monthly report or
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah, but that's our monthly report.
Right.
Yeah,
No, also I've done
Is it on the
in
magazine?
newsletter.
oh, good, okay.
Not so much in the magazine, we're working, we issue it 3 times a year. and
Yeah.
We're working on
That's hard.
months in advance.
Okay.
So,
Just a thought.
yeah,
something
if
we can do.
if we had a full-time, but if we had someone who was dedicated to that, we could make the magazine more robust in terms of more pages, information, more opportunities to highlight the things that we do, but it's pretty,
It's a lot.
yeah.
So
And it's
still-
because I'm doing it.
Yeah, no, understand.
They haven't gotten you any more help.
We'll work on it. Hopefully we'll get some.
Okay,
There we
yeah. Okay, any more on the work plan? New council, new work year, new work plan. We'll talk about that when you get the new commissioners.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so next month, maybe.
Yeah, so historically in January, typically you would talk about it, but since
Since we don't have anybody
we don't
yet.
have anyone, probably do an orientation too. I was thinking about this. There's gonna be 4 new commissioners,
Mhm.
so I think it would be good to, and it's a good refresher for those who remain on the commission. You know, going over the Brown Act,
Yeah.
meeting and stuff like that. So I'll try to condense it to a reasonable amount of time. But we will have 4 new commissioners, which is a quorum. So if I were to meet with them, either I meet with them individually or I special meetings.
So you could have like a special meetings for special training, couldn't you?
Well, I think we'll just integrate it into next month's meeting,
Okay,
because they will have already been,
okay.
and then we can do an overview. You talk about park assignments.
Mhm.
You know, those we redistributed, new officers, so a chair and a vice chair.
Mhm.
And then start talking about what is a work plan, and I think your plan was that in March. You could start with the process of adopting,
Right. Okay.
so that's,
And council, are they gonna have a retreat February-ish or?
I don't know what their schedule is, and actually, now that I think about it, the work plan, yeah, actually.
We're having a strategic planning meeting on a Saturday, February. I'm not going.
That's when they usually would have it, and then
Yeah.
they come down with some stuff, and then we try to make it fit, you know, with their
I think,
goals and objectives.
Yeah. I think what Commissioner Ramirez is talking about is there's an all-day strategic planning session.
And budgeting.
Yeah, I don't think it's a Saturday, I think it's Wednesday, February 12th.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's what you're.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
usually they would have their
Great.
strat plan meeting, and then we would get some, like,
Yeah, so at the next meeting too, there'll be an opportunity to provide input on the budget,
yeah,
so that'll be presented. So this current work plan is actually good through the end of this fiscal year,
okay.
so.
They have a CAB on here?
That will be presented separately.
Okay, but it is not on here?
It doesn't need to be on,
Okay,
but that will be, it's a full improvement.
yeah, because that's the big hit. Luis, I'm counting on you. Okay,
Yeah, it is.
alrighty. All right, so let's move on to the next item. Thanks a lot for these pictures too. That really helps with people that, you know, now know what it's gonna look like in the restrooms. I really, that's great. Are they up and working, the bathrooms? I mean, have they been at Christmas Hill these? There's no tagging or anything like that so far?
The new ones we installed, yeah, they actually do really nice to be able to abate repeat it. It doesn't stick all the things on there.
Okay.
They ripped off one sinks off the wall. So.
Oh, sorry, Owl. Oh my God, I can't even imagine what you walk into, you know?
Pretty.
Motion.
The Christmas Hill, the new bathroom
Let's just hold that for his report.
Yeah.
All right, so let's stay on the.
But as far as the, we approved this part for the bathroom, but we don't have to really do anything for this part, do we? We don't have to do any recommendations. It's just your report.
That is correct. Yeah, that was the only item we had.
Yeah. Okay, so the next item we have is. Sorry. We're already to department updates, 11. So 11.1 Recreation Division updates. So that's the next item.
Okay, so we go to this page in your meeting packet. I'll just do a run through here. So just wanted to share some highlights from this past calendar year. So we served 420 youth in our city-run summer camps. So there were two camps that were offered this summer. One was at Gilroy Gardens, and the other one was at Christopher High School. Those are 100% city-run camps. So we have city staff there, we have city volunteers. And then, of course, we have the participants. And this was the first time that we ran the camp at Gilroy Gardens since the pandemic. And it was the first time that we ran a camp at Christopher High School, since obviously in 2017. And it worked out great because they got to go swimming 3 days a week.
That's nice.
Yes. So that was great. Over the course of the year, we served more than 500 senior residents. So, whereas we average about 110 seniors a day, just for the nutritional meal.
Okay.
This is for all of our seniors. So whether it's Tai Chi, whether it's line dancing, field trips, craft classes, because not everyone goes to lunch. People pick and choose what they attend to. We served more than 500 senior residents. Nearly 3,000 youth, teen, and adult residents participated in a class offered by one of our multiple contract recreation instructors. So we have city staff, and then we actually have contracted professionals who specialize in a certain niche. For example, martial arts. It might be theater. It might be tennis. It might be dance. And so for the contracted classes, we served over nearly 3,000 residents here, all ages. We had more than 5,000 people attend recreation swim this summer at Christopher High School Center. And those were the highlights. If you go to the next page, senior services. So starting next month, as we've done every year with the assistance of ARP, they will be providing free tax services. And they are still looking for accountants who want to provide pro bono service. Anyways, the tax services take place at the senior center, and it runs through April. They're already new programs at San Ysidro Park. Starting this month, will be new programs offered to residents at in the San Ysidro Park community. In addition to loteria, art workshops, and bi-monthly food distribution, which we had earlier today. The joint collaboration, so you've got the South County Task Force, you've got Santa Clara County Probation Department, you've got the City of Gilroy. We're gonna be offering a economic development workshop. So this is for residents who are looking to, maybe they sell food of some sort. They're trying to grow their business. Or they make something and they want to learn how to sell it online. So there's going to be economic development classes offered at San Ysidro Park in addition to all the other services. And then there's also a Zumba class that will be coming, which we're excited to offer. And last but not least, we had breakfast with Santa. Thank you.
Nice picture.
I think I'm wearing the same thing.
It was a lot of fun, great job cooking for the 200 people in attendance, plus all the volunteers, and staff that are there. It's been great job. It went smoothly as always, and we look forward to having you back.
I think the seniors appreciate it just as much as, the little kids and stuff running
Oh,
around.
yes.
It's just it's a real
Nice. Yeah, nice.
hyped up,
Thank
good
you for doing
feeling
that.
event.
I don't know if there's a volunteer of the year kind of thing you do, but Judy's husband Rich was absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
We couldn't have pulled it off because it was just Terry and I and Vince who showed up for a while. So we were really,
Yes.
we were really,
We sent him a nice.
oh yeah.
I did,
mean,
okay.
Hey, Adam, on your
Not
statistics
yet.
for 2024, do you have any comparison to how that was with respect to the last 3 years?
I do not off the top of on top of my head, but I do have that, I can get that for you.
That would be very helpful for me.
Yeah, so for the city run camps, obviously, since we hadn't run the Gilroy Gardens camp before, that of course went way up. Because last year, you know, I think we may have served 200, so to go from 200 to 420. And this year, I'm anticipating, you know, we may even hit 5. I know swimming has gone up every year that we've offered it. Just more and more people are realizing, oh, you know, you have recreation swimming. And then plus 2 years ago, we opened up the water slides. So that has been a huge boost. But there are some lessons are also increased as well.
This information will be useful to the next chairman who's making the, commission update usually in August, so. Adam can get you this kind of
Oh, yes.
information. You know that, Luis, you did
Yes.
it yourself.
Yes.
I've done it a couple of times.
It would be a adult class in pickleball, maybe at South Valley School.
Oh.
It would be a really nice.
You just
program.
have to bring that up, didn't
You
you?
could increase the adult participation in that, satisfies pickleball people, that would be good.
Brilliant idea.
Did our report ever go to council
It has not.
yet? Okay.
I check if it's going through council correspondence, I thought that's how it was.
Well, sure.
It's been-
Okay. Well, I know with the Christmas holiday and the extended closure and all that stuff.
Yeah. All of the commissioners.
Okay, alrighty. So it looks like the next one is for the other act of the status of city parks. So John, take it away.
So, we've been blessed with the spring-like weather this most of January. And we've taken that time to prep all the baseball fields, softball fields for the spring season. Literally just had tryouts, week before last. So guys are dragging the fields, making sure all the balls are done out of the way. Doing some repairs, maintenance to make sure fields are safe for the start of the season. It's been busy at the ranch site, Christmas Hill, Sports Park, Los Angeles. We've still got a few more improvements to make with some of the batter's boxes, backstops and swapping out base pits. And all hands on deck, especially with the breaking the wedge, ready to actually get that done. Also along with field maintenance, we still the service course keep always rolling. So, mainline breaks, we have about 8 in the past month, at the park, downtown, side, Carrots Hill, City Hall.
Is that weather related or old, right?
It's probably
I
a
don't know
team.
if that's weather related, I think we're just, the commercial use field, so they get a lot of traffic. So you get, breaks. I added a picture in here just to kind of
Yeah,
give an idea of what it looks like when it breaks. Usually, very involved, everything's kind of deep
Mm-hmm.
and, side pipe.
John, was one of those breaks at Miller Park by the benches on the south side of the park, Miller and Second? Was it one there? Because that's been really mushy for a long time.
So I think it's got, is it getting better? We did.
I been there and I haven't really walked away there, but a couple, 2-3 weeks ago, it was still pretty bad. So I haven't checked in last week or so.
I think we've been monitoring the park. The system down to kind of dry out the fields, because a lot of them are quite mushy.
Yeah, the same thing with ranch side, the main break, the ranch side of Christmas Hill by the ball field.
Yeah.
Parking, right out Not a break too? Is
Yeah.
that what that is? Okay, that makes sense then, okay, because it was been mushy there for a while, okay. good.
Yeah, big grass was super long.
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
green.
Okay, good.
Beware of super green, huh?
Also
outside.
with the Christmas parade, a lot of times we get uptick in graffiti and vandalism. It kind of correlates with the, Christmas break, holidays, so kids are out,
Yeah.
need something to do, so.
What time are they supposed to be shutting Christmas Hill down again?
Christmas Hill is open until 11.
Okay, well, one night I went past 11, it wasn't closed. So, I mean, I go that way home
Yeah.
frequently if I'm coming from a meeting or coming from the show or something like that.
They currently start 11 at Sports Park and they make their way through.
Yeah.
There'll be a little bit of changes. We're starting with the new security contracts.
Oh, you got a new contractor?
Coming on here
Okay,
very
good.
quick at the end of the month.
Okay.
So
I noticed there was a truck inside over by. On
black
the,
truck.
yeah, parked and I was like, gonna have to roust them out of there.
So we're making some changes to their schedule to make sure they lock up all the community parks first, the ones that are
Oh.
have gates. And restrooms. Instead of bouncing through all the little parks.
Yeah. Yeah, because these big trucks have the gates. For Branch and the other side, so.
Legal dumping's been a little uptick,
Yeah.
picture there in Christmas Hill, someone
Yeah,
decided to dump there by the restroom, the levee trails have been, just you dumping and leaving stuff behind.
How's the homeless situation going or the unhoused situation going out for Christmas Hill?
It's been pretty good.
Better?
They have new rules to, be able to enforce the homelessness or the unhoused, the campers and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
That's even up to folks who've been getting housing. So,
Oh, that's good.
it has been helping with.
Yeah. Okay.
Restroom, as we mentioned, the new restroom, it's not immune to vandalism. Did get, one decided to rip the sink off the wall. Painted it graffiti, but, they said it's still brand new, the graffiti abatement worked really well. Staff was able to repair all the damages and it's back up and, back to normal, so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord, nutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weed abatement and trying to take advantage of, weather and sunshine to get, some of our weed abatement caught up. The storms we had at the end of December, the wreaked havoc on it. We had a list of parks here that, either had, trees fall or large limbs. But, with about 10 parks that had trees come down.
Oh,
So,
yeah, those winds were pretty bad for a while.
yeah, they wrecked through. There was, same weekend that Scott Valley had the hurricane, tornado.
right, right.
We're still catching up a little bit on that. We've got, Christmas Hill scheduled this week to complete all the files that we set aside. We currently don't have a chipper, so it's a regular
Oh.
situation. But, yeah, slowly making our way through it.
Yeah. Okey-dokey. Thank you for your report, John, and thank you, Adam. Okay, so now we have Commissioner Park reports and comments. So, Luis, we'll start at your end and work our way down.
Okay, so, parks look like in winter condition, right? Some of the grass is white, but that's typical. And, are we on the regular mow schedule for the parks?
Yeah, we
Okay.
are we've been drying out the trips for the past 2 weeks, so
Yeah.
they've been missing a couple of weeks where it's, extra.
The sign must look great. I can see you painted some of the tables because they had graffiti on, so yeah, it It's great. I do watch Miller at time, that's right, and I could, you know, there's a group playing soccer there, which is great, but it's become compacted mud, so I don't know if it's gonna, if you have to reseed there, but Miller Park has some areas that need some help. Sandy Cedro look fine, you know. Again, looks pretty good, winter conditions, but I didn't see anything that's sticking out anywhere, so. Those are my folks.
Sam, how about you?
Okay, what's the name of the park on Crest Hill?
Carriage.
Yeah.
That's my favorite park because I never remember the name of it. What is it, John?
Carriage Hill Park.
Carriage Hills, yes, okay. So I was at Carriage Hills today, and there was a little bit of play going on. I didn't get specific in terms of muddy lawns or anything like that, but people were using it on a small time basis. Then I went to Miller Park today, and there was a little bit of action, not much. And then finally I went to El Roble, and I saw that fence. And I said, how long has that fence been?
I know, it's like up on the.
Yeah.
I did.
Couple
It's-
weeks.
Yeah, has it been there? Okay,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
it's
Went up fast.
there.
Yeah, so does that cut into our part of the park?
It outlines the property of El Roble,
Uh-huh.
the school. So you'll find that the gentleman mentioned, Luigi, which borders Del Rey, Rainbow Park.
Yeah, Rod Kelly just did it.
So
It's
part of the
security.
School Protection Act.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm reach out to the gentleman, but speaking to the school district, they are planning to keep them open in the afternoon so that the kids can come in there and play ball, but it's also Facilitron, which is their reservation that almost any fields are available.
Oh, that'd probably be good if we got the word out. for
I totally agree with that. That's a great idea.
Because, I know they did it for security issues, but when when my kids, the grandkids were at Luigi, that school's locked up tighter than, you know, whatever. And there's no going in there and playing basketball. There's no going in there and playing baseball.
It's like Los Animas too.
It's
More
locked.
and more, because it's not that they can't, it's not because they don't want them playing, it's the graffiti that takes place and the damage, you know, kids go around even at around Elm, we'd have problems with that, so I can see why.
I mean, I can see why they do it, but being as they were joint use facilities and, you know, we don't have a baseball backstop now like we used to
Mm.
for, Luigi, because that's in their fencing.
Yeah, I mean, there's one at Sunrise.
Yeah, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, for the parks where they're used to, like practicing or whatever, I mean, yeah, there's still something at Los Angeles Park, you can still practice out there, but whether people don't want to go that far or whatever. And, but yeah, maybe I don't know, talking to the district about either their facility reservations, so people know, get the word out or whatever.
I mean, it's easy if there's a fee though. And you may need
Wow.
insurance. I'm just saying, it's
Oh.
not like you can just sign up and go. Yes.
Yeah,
Complicated.
I knew last year that it was sort of coming down the pipe. And then when I heard that they had their Halloween thingy that they do at, El Roble, then it was like already closed off, I think, right? Or getting to get closed off. So, and my grandson was going there for flag football stuff and then changed leagues. So, but yeah, they were kind of like, ooh.
We also had an incident where someone walked onto the campus.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Field that,
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. Oh, yeah, that's when he was still going.
Did I hear correctly that it would also happen at Rod Kelly? It's going to?
It's already done some
It's
of
already
it,
done? Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's Rainbow Park.
Where the Rainbow Park areas,
Rainbow Park,
we're not in that fence area,
Okay,
So
but it's up to.
maps that show where the property line begins and ends. And technically GUSD owns them.
And do we use, those facilities, during the summer?
In terms of Rainbow Park, it's a neighborhood park, so it's just used by the public. It's not a community park. So
It's a
there's
tiny
no
little park.
reservation schedule.
Yeah.
Luigi, Del Rey. Neighborhood park.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Oh, Roble.
Robley.
Roble is technically a neighborhood park.
Is it, I think though, is it anymore with that? That
The
railing,
application doesn't change it because it's,
and there's gates in and out? Okay. I mean, it's an impressive,
Well, there's fencing now for that district,
yeah, I know, because, yeah, there's people that are coming in.
but
the
it's
school
part,
campus.
it's part of the
Safety.
Securities Act for
Yeah,
the,
safe
for
for
the
the
schools. If you've noticed, if you go by any of the schools and like the exit doors or whatever, the fence, they're like really beefed up now to
Yeah.
get through one of those. fences. Never used to be like that 2 years ago. it stopped.
Patty. So on something like that, should there be, like an open hearing that we're gonna do this and we'd like to hear from the public? Because here's number one that was here today. And he might,
I received 2 calls.
Huh?
I received 2 calls from people saying, how come you're closing the park?
yeah,
It's not our
you
park.
had 2 calls?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if Gilroy Unified, put it on there, because they have their board of trustees has meetings as well. And so it may have been publicly posted, but it obviously. At least from this gentleman, he was unaware.
yeah,
When the city does something that may affect. May impact you, they sometimes, depending on what it is, they might say, post, that this is happening, you live within 5.
Yeah, it's called, and I used to work in the planning division, it's called a radius list, and it used to do for projects. It's within so many feet, you wave it like 300 feet, whatever. I doubt the school district does
What
that,
this school district does do that.
but they should.
Because they're not city, they will put that out in the school, the parents will get that information. So it's they're 2 different entities, there's the school district and the park, and there have been issues lately with. I know one at Luigi's, specifically a stranger coming up several times, and we've got children everywhere, and when parents send their kids to school, they wanna know they're safe, and so. Be it what it is, that fence says, stay away, keep out, because it was a free-for-all, and I imagine the Rod Kelly kids could just run free right through and then right into the other part of the park. Now that's no longer an option, or your yard supervisors can't watch all those, so I think that it was a good safety reason. We just don't know when somebody's gonna come up to a child, and I wouldn't wanna be the teacher that lost a child just on my, so I don't have a problem with fences at all.
Well, one of the nice things about it, Luigi, and we're getting a little off track and
Yes.
we're almost
Yeah.
at our meeting, sorry. But they did a little center area, so they didn't have to go to the city park place and leave the school area. And then they put shading over it. It's really nice, very nice job. So
So
something
there's
to,
somebody still that's got onto.
Yeah. Okay, so let's,
Sorry,
give yours.
yes,
Was there, did you have anything else to report?
no, nothing, no.
Okay, so, I did a drive-by past, Sydney Casper. Things look fine. I know we were having some trees that John was talking about eventually, they're gonna be replaced, and so when that happens. The Delray Park also is just that cement issue that I've asked about when that race cement's gonna be taken care of, and still hoping they can do something with the vegetation that's kind of around the place. Kind of looks a little stark. But other than that, those are the 2 I usually report on. So, yep. I'm happy.
Waiting for Catherine Park to begin. Get some of the trees, I don't know if you guys noticed, they're doing solar.
Mhm.
So they got 15 trees that
Oh, is that what's gonna go up out here, solar panels?
the trees around the parking lot, so there's about 15 trees that we need to plant to replace
Mhm.
those trees, so I'm pitching to get syndicates.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, great, great. Well, it's nice because I've always thought about, oh, like Kaiser, and Valley Medical did it years ago and God, go I do it, you know, so I'm glad to see it happen. I was wondering what was going to go on. Okay, Terry, you have your. Yeah, I was sick over the Christmas, holiday. 3 or 4 weeks. So I know that, the sports park is always immaculate. They're just, it's a quiet park. There's usually one, whatever camper over the one side park. It's nothing. So my park, that's what I went to see because I could drive it, but I didn't drive by anything else. I'd say. If people are looking for places to use the turf for practice, I guess we can refer them to Farrell, because all there is turf. There's no backstops, but. Yeah,
Oh, for those parts that have been impacted by the fencing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, or maybe, what is it
I guess
called?
There is Sunrise.
Yeah,
It has it's a large, it's actually, it has a backstop.
Yeah.
And it has a large field. There's just no restrooms.
Why did you say Fair? Don't the people use on the Farrell Park? Oh, that community there?
Farrell Avenue, it's
Or
just
yeah, it's
grass.
just grass and little trees that we Yeah. put up there. Yeah, but I mean, it's just kind of like, well, maybe if we wanted to do some backstops out there for.
I don't think it's safe. There's a lot, I've walked that. It's very bumpy. It's got holes in it. You can't, the kids.
Oh, okay.
With up just ankles in it.
Okay. Well, just a thought. Alrighty. And staff comments, any?
I don't.
Okay. Um. Future commissioner initiated items, I guess. The deal about what Mr. Brinton brought up. Adam will bring that back to you all. Next month, I guess. It looks like you're gonna have a full meeting next month, I hope, for you guys. I was so excited when I was here interviewing for the planning commission, and all these people got up for the parks. And I just almost stood up and cheered because I was like, there's some people applying. I was so excited, and there's probably about 4 good qualified ones that they're making. Who knows? Maybe they all will. Anyway, but I was very excited to see the people come out, and he came out because I talked to you before.
That's a journey meeting.
Okay, so okay, so let's say adjourn this meeting at 7:13.
Folks.